One, two, one, two. All right, let's roll.
Welcome. You're listening to the Saddle Up Podcast,
where we discuss everything related to UTRGV athletics, past or present. We'll catch up with old teammates, friends, and take you down memory lane
with exclusive interviews.
This is the Saddle Up Podcast,
the voice of your covered walkway streets.
So dope.
This is gonna be awesome.
Stay tuned for new episodes every week.
From Bronx Village to the field house,
we'll cover it all.
Hell yeah, dude. Carpe diem.
So saddle up and let's go.
Let's go. Saddle up, partner.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Saddle Up Podcast. This week we've got none other than Sara Hernandez, who used to be a former track star for the university and now has transitioned over into I guess what you would call it, the front office, the athletic department.
The administration side.
Yeah,
yes.
the admin side. And she'll get into what she does in a second. But before we get into what Sara does, I definitely have to introduce my co-host, G Garza. G Garza is here again this week, ladies and gentlemen, to Noah Bell. We know you love him. Thanks
I'm here again.
being here.
I apologize for being here again, but I do not apologize for having Sara Hernandez on this show. I really appreciate you, Sara. Can't wait to get this started. I got so many questions, man. Former Bloodhound. I'm just going to say that, okay? I'm just going to put that out. I'm just going to put that out as a little feeler, a little hint. All right? Yeah. We got a former Bloodhound in the house. And the most popular, famous Bloodhound, by the way, that ever attended St. Joe. Yeah.
And Sara, that means a lot coming from Uncle Rico himself, right? So
yeah,
he just got done feeding Tina the llama. So
yeah, we're not going to talk about my any career at St. Joe. We're talking about Sara. All right, we're going to talk about Sara, not Uncle Rico's illustrious wannabe career.
Okay, so
but
Sara,
thank you, Sara.
Tell us how you grew up in Brownsville. What was that? What high school? Obviously, you went to St. Joe's, right? But go into Pan Am. You went to Pan Am. Was that a dream to run collegiate track? Give us a little bit about your background, and then we'll get into your college career and what you're doing now.
Right. What a lot of people don't know is that I actually grew up in Matamoros. I'm born and raised from the Matamoros side. When I was in high school, I went to school there for up until 9th grade. When I was in high school, I was one of those that would travel every morning, go across the bridge, go to school in Brownsville, live in Matamoros for 3 years. People did it for like 12 years. So I only did it for 3 years. It was a thing, right?
You're right. It's definitely a thing.
It sounds crazy, but it's actually not as uncommon on the border to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that. And then, yes, just being able to run in college was a great opportunity for me. And also that I wasn't so far to home. I mean, it's still a different country, but I'm still pretty close to where I'm from. So it's still,
Sara,
I would still say I'm a Valley native.
Sara, I know, you ran there and you talk about the bridge, right? I mean, what, hours sometimes. I mean, think about the sacrifice, right? Like the hours that you spent on the bridge, like not only coming over here, but having to go back home as well,
right.
At times. Yeah.
And you stay for practice, you're staying after school for practice, so you don't leave school till like 6 p.m.
That's
and
right.
Then you get home at around 6:30 or 7, then you kind of do your homework and eat real quick, go back to sleep, and then wake up and do it all over again.
You do it all over again.
Did you ever get to go to like Friday night high school football games?
I did go sometimes. I mean, I had friends, right? So sometimes you would spend the night in Brownsville with your friends, or they would come over and spend it with us over there. So we still got to do a lot of fun things.
What years did you attend St. Joe?
From 2004 to 2007.
Ah, okay, so, awesome. So who was Coach Garza your
Coach Garza, the one and only? He's the best.
He is
such
a
mentor. Such a mentor. Yes.
Coach Meme Garza. Shout out to Coach Meme. I'm gonna send him this link, okay?
Yes,
we're gonna send him this show
him.
so he can listen to this show. Yes.
Such a special person for so many people.
I'm sure you're one of his favorites. I don't know Coach Garza personally, but I've heard of him, but I'm sure Sara, you were one of his favorites.
Well, Matt, I remember back in 91, 90 to 95, Coach Meme I was his favorite. So that's what was told to me. And so if he says anything different, after this, it's going to be a a huge letdown.
He didn't
And
know me yet, so
he didn't know her yet. 10 years
That's
later,
right.
she pops on the scene and he forgets who you are.
Yeah.
So it's all good.
Shout out, Coach, man. Shout
I
out to
love
Coach.
them.
So Sarah, how did you get from being a bloodhound to to UTRGV
UTRGV or UTPA opened that
or
opportunity.
UTPA? That's right.
It so happened that I have my brother went to school at UTPA already, so I was like, that makes perfect sense. I'll be close to family, which is my brother, and also I will be able to run track in college, which is amazing. I didn't even know that was a thing growing up in Mexico. Then you're in high school and you're like, oh, I can actually go to college and do this and do what I like doing most, and everything else from there was a blast. It was great. It was really a great opportunity to run here. And I say here because I'm still here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Who is your man? I know I can't get out of that bloodhound thing, Matt. I'm still
It's great, right?
because it's like we went through it together. So
It's a
who is your
brotherhood.
favorite?
It's a sisterhood, right?
It's a brother or sisterhood. It really is.
It's the same thing like being an athlete at whether you were a Bronc or whether you're a Vaquero, whether you were a Scorpion, it doesn't matter. You still have that commonality. Like you walk the same halls, you walk the same, you went the blood, sweat, and tears for the programs. Like it's the same thing. One of the things that Sarah, we remember, like we go back and we go to the past and we're like, hey, history, tells us this. Or speaking of history, Coach Hickson, Sarah, tell us about. Coach
Hickson. History. He was my homeroom professor or teacher, I guess. Yeah, he had like bumper stickers all over his classroom. Did he have that already?
Absolutely. Sarah. Look, here's the thing with Sarah. Here's the thing. If you did not know an answer to a test in his class, if you knew anything about the Texas Longhorns, if you knew anything about the Boston Celtics or the Houston Astros, and you put down any of those players, he would give you at least half credit for those tests.
I was never in that situation, so
you were smart.
She knew the answers to all. So she wasn't in the same spot you were. So that's why Coach Garza. That's why she's Coach Garza's favorite, bro. Like, So
you were smart. You were smart. You didn't have to use those tactics. Okay, I get it.
So let's talk about now. You're running track for the Bronx, right? In 07 to 11, whatever. How was that time? Like, how was running track? Now you're in college. I don't know when your brother graduated, but you're kind of on your own now. You're running track. Like, how was that experience for you as a freshman collegiate track star?
It was great. I think it was a little bit of that first season is really a shock, right? You get here because you're used to running really fast in high school, right? And you're the best. And then you get here and you have all these very talented teammates, which is really cool. So that was testing, but it was great. And I think we made really good friends. Our college experience was amazing. I think we see where we are now and you look at where we were before. And I think you guys can probably identify with this. We were just so happy to be able to play the sport that we loved, and just having that opportunity to meet people from all over the place. It was great. It was a great experience. Made so many friends on and off the athletics circle. So so exciting.
And those are like your best friend. My personal experience, the people that I met in college tend to be my best friends that I still I've got really good friends from high school and growing up, but the college people that I met in college, those are my real true best friends.
I agree.
So
it's also because if you think about it, you're doing everything with your friends in those 4 or 5 years that you're here. You live with them, you have breakfast, lunch, and dinner with them, you're training with them, you're traveling with them. And that's why it's such a blast. You're going to school with them, right, in classes, because you're just hanging out with your friends all day. And that was so much fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
What did you
watching Braveheart? I get it.
And that's don't give away all our secrets, Matt. Last of the Mohicans was in there too, not just Braveheart. Last of the Mohicans. Sarah, what did you run? What events did you specialize in?
I ran the 1 and the 400-meter hurdles.
Oh, she's fast.
Wow.
With the hops.
She's fast.
Okay, no, not only are you fast, but you're actually going over obstacles.
Yeah, they say it's kind of like you're a sprinter but with ADD. which I don't have, but it's kind of like you have to
Yeah,
be distracted a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to get entertained.
That's
That's right.
amazing. And now
That's right.
do you still kind of run just to kind of keep in shape, or when was the last time you actually ran a 1 or a 4 doing the hurdles? Like,
Over a hurdle, I haven't done that in a while. I still run for fun, which, if you can say that.
yeah.
I do enjoy running. My husband and I, that's kind of our hobby. So I run about a year, more or less.
Okay.
So I still try to run, and I
You
love it.
still
That's
do
my
it.
first love. So I just can't stop doing it.
Yeah.
Even though it's
Well-
not as fast. I mean, there's no reason for me to sprint these days, so I don't do that very much.
Well, running, yeah. Running is what got you the opportunity.
Mhm.
You know, if you ask, it's crazy and so ironic that if you ask basketball players if they like to run, they will say, I hate it. But it's like mandatory, right? To
Yeah.
be able
Yeah.
to play basketball, but they don't like running. You know?
No, we hated
Yeah.
it. We absolutely hate it. But speaking of, let's transition. So you ran 4 years.
Mhm.
How did you find yourself in the athletic department and transitioning from athlete to now kind of admin? Now I'm going to go kind of work for the dark side type thing.
So,
Not the
did that
dark
happen?
side.
well,
She
I
gets
was
to
a
sit
student
next to Tony
athlete.
Farina.
Yeah,
you
which
can
is
sit
such
next
an
to
honor
Tony.
every day.
And you get to
When
tell Julie what to do. Shout out to Julie. by
love
the
it.
way.
Yes, it's my life is a dream.
That's awesome.
No, but I was actually the editor of the sports section in the school paper while I was a student athlete. I was doing that at the same time. So I was writing a lot of stories about our baseball team, our basketball team, our golf team, everything. So I kind of got to know the AD at the time because I had to interview them a lot.
Yeah.
So once I finished my college degree, I actually graduated in December. I still had a spring semester, which is very common these days because of the COVID year and whatnot. But back then it wasn't as common to just finish early. I don't know what I was thinking, but I finished school early. I started my master's. When I finished my master's, they're like, hey, you want to be a GA? And I was like, yeah, sure. So I ended up being a graduate assistant for a year and a half. And then after that, the marketing person that was here at that time ended up leaving. She got a very good opportunity someplace else. And I applied for it, and then I got it, and it's been 10 years. Now I'm here. Yeah, so
Wow.
10 years, Sarah.
really one thing
Yeah,
led to another
right.
situation.
And you
so-
started in the athletic department when it was Bronx, right? So you
Yes.
witnessed the transition.
Mhm.
You went from Bronx to Vaqueros. Now, you being a former athlete, and we get this question a lot, right? How did you feel about going from, them dropping Bucky and the Bronx to now you're, a vaquero, and everybody's like, what is a vaquero? So like, how did you feel about that whole transition?
It was definitely bittersweet just because we were Bronx, right? We not only, we weren't only Bronx, but we traveled, we represented it, we wore the colors, we like blood, sweat, and tears almost, right? When you're practicing day in and day out. But I think we also knew, especially when you're part of the department, you knew how important this was. And we knew that this could change the valley. And I think back then it was a little bit harder for people to grasp, even us, but people external, like people who were not in the department, to understand that. Because what do you show them, right? You just take a leap of faith and believe that this is for the better of our university and our region. Right. So we just took it and went with it. And it was bittersweet. I think that last game, I remember it was March 7th, and that was the last basketball game. We gave out a bunch of t-shirts. We gave out like 1,000 t-shirts. Field house was packed.
Yep.
And I feel like we all wanted to cry, right? Like, this is so exciting. We're doing these amazing things. These are our new logos, but also we're leaving a lot behind. But it was an exciting time, and we learned a lot going through that transition. And even now, it's been 8 years now, and we've come such a long way. And I think people are starting to realize that it was a good thing. That everything that happened for a reason, and now we're here.
1,000% agreed. 1,000% agreed.
Wow.
What you guys have done, as a department, and it's not, it started with like the Chris King, the former athletic director, but you know, what you guys, what Chase has done, what Jonah's done, with Seth and Molly and everybody, right? Julie, you yourself, like what you guys are really kind of culminated in the 8 years of hard work. I mean, it speaks volumes, you know.
Yeah.
And y'all just got awarded, what UTRGV just got awarded for like one of the best universities in the state of Texas, you know.
Right.
So that's just the university itself, you know.
UTRGV is changing lives, literally.
Yes.
They're giving people in the region the opportunity to get a college degree, and a good one. And it's literally changing lives. And I think that makes our job very special. Just knowing that what we're doing is very meaningful, and we're not just putting in the hours and working hard just to put out a volleyball match last night. I think there's a reasoning behind everything that we're doing, and I think it's really paying back to our region.
Yeah, and I modestly have to say that your connection with Saddle Up is even going to take it to another level.
I believe it. I believe it.
Hey, no, but honestly though, I mean, seriously, when I went to that game yesterday, we, you know, Greg, I walked in with Greg, and he went, Greg Lynch, by the way, shout out to Greg, went out to the front and showed me the picture of what the front entrance is going to look like. That I hadn't seen that. That's amazing.
The renovation.
That's amazing. The renovation that's going to happen, and what people are going to experience. It's not only, you're not only going to a game now, you're going to an experience.
Well,
and I think the students can appreciate that.
Well, speaking of experience, we need to talk to Chase on two things. How we can get our show on replay, like in the corridor of that new facade in the front, right? And just our
only this episode,
only this episode over and over again, right? Like while you're getting a Koki here, Matt and G and Sarah. And then the other thing is, how do we get a bronze statue in front of us doing our podcast, right? Like, how is that
Sarah, can you make that happen? Sarah,
I'm on it. Let me write it down. Also,
write that down
right as soon as we hang up.
Because G is not getting a podcast for his 5 steals. I mean, a statue
again,
for 5 steals.
Here we go. 5 steals and what? How many assists? 3, 2.
No, you had no assists. You had 12 points, 5 steals. Yeah.
Hey, it's better than nothing.
Yeah, you do not
Thank
give
you,
assists
Sarah.
well, man.
Yeah.
Hey, don't talk about another bloodhound to one other bloodhound, all right? A bloodhound stick together, man. You know, what were you? Bastrop Bobcat? Here, right? What were you?
No, but the renovations, when do those start? Like the facade, the front of the field house. When is that going to start, the construction?
Later this fall.
Later this fall.
Yeah.
Man.
So they're going to be playing games while the construction is going on in the front, correct?
Yeah, as far as I understand.
Yeah.
Unless things change. You know, construction is very crazy, but I think that's a plan.
Well, y'all got the new video board. I saw on social media and a couple of Julie's social media that the video board is amazing.
It's humongous.
Yeah.
It's like sharper than real life. This looks better than real life.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It does.
That's amazing.
It does.
So before we get into G's we call them G's questions, right? We got
to come up with a better name. We got to do
a better name, but we've got a new segment, and this is the first time the segment has appeared on the show. So kudos to your episode, Sarah.
Very honored.
We've got, drum roll please. We've got Wing Barn Trivia. Wing Barn Trivia, sponsored by Wing Barn, with several locations throughout the valley, from Brownsville all the way to Edinburgh. And G, why don't you give them a little idea what exactly every week Wing Barn Trivia is going to be?
Well, we're going to be giving away gift cards, all right, for for those listeners, and they can kind of put it on social media if they know the answer, whatnot. But Sarah is in the valley,
and she's
Sarah
the first one.
Is the first one to go through the trivia. So we're going to ask Sarah to see if she can win this music lyrical trivia, all right. And then I'll give a movie quote, right, for the listeners at home. So this is just for Sarah. All right, Sarah. The music. Let me see. Music. Let me guess. Let me think. All right.
This is where I enter
something
in the
to do
Jeopardy
with
music right here.
Yeah. This is where you enter the Jeopardy music. Let's see. Dun 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 dun. It goes like that. Dun 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 dun. Under Pressure. Who sings that?
Queen and David Bowie.
Yeah.
All right. Yes.
Woo, all right. Hey,
Sarah
did you
gets a
like my
Wingborn gift certificate.
Did you like my chime? You know, I mean, little
I loved
lyrical
it. Yeah,
chime.
I knew
Yeah,
right
you
away
like
what you
that?
were talking about.
Was
Yeah.
it, or was it Vanilla Ice's ding 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 ding? You know, it could
Oh,
be
Ding, ding,
Vanilla
ding,
Ice,
ding, ding.
Ice Ice Baby. Yeah.
Yeah.
well, which one
So
was it? You asked.
it was a. You're right. You were. You're right. You're right. Queen, David Bowie. You're right. All right. Hey. Okay, that's awesome. Thank you very much for playing. And what about your favorite memory at UTPA?
Favorite memory at UTPA. I think oddly enough, it wasn't a track meet or a practice time. One time our team did this water balloon fight. We organized it outside the rec on a Saturday off season. We like I wasn't part of it, but somebody spent all night getting those prepped and they had like paint in them. We just had a blast. And I think it just goes to college athletics is way beyond what you see, right?
Yeah.
This moment that we bonded, it was a great moment where the season, I think it must have been around October, November, when the fall is kind of ending and you're just getting ready for your season when it comes to track. And it was just great. It was great. Everybody came together. We all wore like whatever old stuff we had because it was going to get stained with the paint. And it was a great time. We had a great time. And I think that's one of my favorite memories at UTPA, just really hanging out with my teammates. And I mean, track meets are tough, you know, that's a lot of fun, but we also get to have a lot of fun together.
The stuff outside of those events, right?
Yeah.
That camaraderie, that's just what Matt and I remember all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. That's what
You know what else we were good at too, Sarah? We were good at eating.
Oh, nice.
Matt
Us
and I-
too.
Matt-
Us too.
Matt and I were really good at eating. Somebody that doesn't know the Valley, what do you suggest? And you're a Brownsville person too, so we're gonna let you go ahead and pick one from the Lower Valley and a
Okay.
restaurant from the Upper Valley. Yeah.
Okay, well,
Go to.
I've listened to episodes before and I had a like an answer prepared, but I don't think it's gonna work because it's not like Valley only. But Brownsville, I would say for sure Spanky's, just because it's right next to St. Joe, and that's where you go have burgers every time after
Shout out to
practice.
Spanky's.
Yes,
We were there a
lunch.
couple
Well, I
weeks
guess you're not
ago.
supposed to be there at lunch, but you know,
Yeah.
you might be. You might find yourself there.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay,
Mhm.
that's a great one. That's a great one. I
Spanky.
love
Shout out to
Spanky's.
Spanky's.
Shout out
And
to
I
Spanky's.
think
Maybe the sponsorship at some point.
here in Edinburgh, it has to be Willie B's. Willie B's. I still go
Wow.
there every so often. During lunch, it's not far from campus, so we just go. We've had meetings there. We've had just birthdays. Everything
Yeah.
takes place there. I've heard that a lot of people back in the day used to go there for their recruitment trips,
Yes.
like the recruitment lunches. Yeah, so
I'd like
I
to,
love
since
Willie
you
B's.
brought up Willie B's, Sarah, I'd like you to tell a story
Here we
about
go, bro.
you going to
Here we
Willie
go.
B's one day, and then Sarah and I are friends on Facebook, right? And so she sends me a message one day of a picture, and she's at Willie B's, and I'll let you tell the story. But what exactly is at Willie B's that caught your eye to where you're
Here we
like,
go.
I need
You
to
would
send
bring
this to
that
Matt
up.
Palmquist.
Here we
Yeah,
go.
so it just says, I guess somebody wrote Matt Palmquist #1 fan. So it might have been
Yeah.
you. I don't know.
It
if
was
you
not
wrote
me,
it.
I
Sarah.
swear.
Sarah,
I swear.
Sarah, it was Matt.
No, it was not. Gee, it was not. It might have been my mom, but I can't
Yeah.
confirm or
one of two
deny, but I
people.
swear it was not me. So
Yeah, and it's
Your mom
fascinating.
or your
Every
dad?
time I go, you see another new name of somebody that you know. It's like
Yeah.
I guess a lot of people go there. A lot of our student
Mhm.
athletes, if they don't go now, I know they used to go a lot before, like you
Yeah.
guys. And then you would write on the wall apparently. Before
I
my
used
Thank
to
you,
go to Willie
Sarah.
B's,
Yeah.
but I went to Willie B's that was in that far location. Right.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the one I used to go to because it used to be near my my uncle's house. So
Yeah.
he would take me there to the Willie B's in Far all the time. So Willie B's is a great
It's
spot
great.
to greet barbecue. Yeah.
family owned, you know, you're supporting people from the
Mhm.
Valley and Edinburgh. So
That's awesome.
Right.
That is awesome. And Wing Barn is a Valley location as well.
Yeah.
He's from the it's
With
Valley
10
owned,
locations
so.
across the valley, Brownsville to
That's
Edinburgh.
right. And they
Yeah.
have a barnyard burger if you haven't tried it, Sarah, in Brownsville.
I haven't.
It really truly is good. Truly is good. It's
Nice.
it's right there on Public Casell when you have a chance. Yeah. Tay, did you know that we had a playlist? Spotify playlist?
I didn't.
Soundtrack?
Oh, we're gonna send you the link, Sarah.
Yep.
We'll send you the link.
And we also need you to be a contributor. So
Oh, okay.
here we go. All right. You're running your 100 meter hurdles. Okay. By the way, I ran the hurdles as well. So this is kind of, yeah, I know. Bloodhound hurdles, man. I don't know.
Uncle Rico in lane 4. Uncle Rico in lane 4.
No wonder Coach Garza, we were his favorites, like hurdlers, man. So
feed the llama. Feed the llama.
Feed the llama. Hey, finish your hurdle practice and then feed the llama, Uncle Rico. Okay. I forgot what I was gonna say. Thanks, Matt.
A running song, right?
Right before.
What got you hyped before a meet?
What? Go for it.
Hyped before a meet. Oh, okay. Jump. Van Halen.
Oh,
That song
wow.
is morning of the track meet because you get up, and nothing lets you down. Nothing brings you down, right?
Now, did that have anything to do that you were jumping the hurdles? Like
it had everything to do with it. Yes.
Would you listen to that song if you were a pole vaulter? I'm just curious.
Well, there's somewhat of a jump, I guess.
Yeah, there is. It's a hop.
It's a hop. It's somewhat of a hop. And also like the jump off like your bed, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, so Van Halen jump.
Wake up. Yeah. I love that song.
Now, what does Sarah listen to now on the way to work to get her day hype on a Friday or the day of a volleyball match or a basketball? What are you listening to now? What's on your playlist?
A little bit of everything, obviously, and I know you guys were right. Taylor Swift right now is just really hitting us hard. I love her. But I also do like some of like the Bad Bunny stuff. That's like that really hypes you up, and I get very not corrupted, but our student athletes music, we get to listen to it. And I was like, hey, that's actually really good. And people like my family's like, where did you hear that? It's like, oh, at work. Like, this is where I get all my music.
If you had to give one song, I get you listen to a whole genre of music, right? I get it. But one song, just like Van Halen Jump, what's one song now that really resonates with Sarah?
We need to add it.
Because we're going to add it to the playlist.
Let me think.
That's
Can I look at my Spotify?
Yeah, go ahead.
Absolutely, you can look.
This is when I put the Jeopardy music on right now. So
she won't win another gift card.
My playlist. I just go to the recently added.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Well, when you're in your Spotify now, you can find the Saddle Up Podcast official soundtrack, and all you got to do is search it. We've got it over 200 songs.
So this is, I guess, I didn't find anything that's really resonating, but I guess a Shakira song that she put out earlier for PK. That was.
Yes, that's a good one.
You know what I'm talking about, Matt?
Shakira,
I'm very
yes.
Confused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, Matt gets confused by anything.
I like Shakira. My wife listens to Shakira. The She-Wolf song is still a banger.
It's just
exactly
that was the 80s and 90s, Matt. You're still thinking Shakira of the 90s.
No.
That's what you banged. That's what you banged in your Walkman before going out to warm up.
No, my Saturn had a 6-disc changer. I remember that.
Oh.
It was I had a 6-disc CD changer in my Saturn. So yeah. We were listening to Tupac and Biggie. So
it's like music session, something number, I don't know. You can do this part if you want.
I'll find Shakira, and we'll put it on there. So yeah.
Well, Sarah, is there anybody that you want to shout out to? One of your former teammates that you ran with? Somebody you'd like to say hello to?
Oh my gosh!
Your favorite teammate?
My favorite teammate. Okay, so everybody knows my favorite teammate is my hurdles buddy Carla Garza. She is such a good friend of mine. We practice every day together. They paired us up for the med ball series. When I was a sophomore, she was a freshman. I was very annoyed because she couldn't stop talking, and then we became best friends. I was like, "Hey, we're here to train," and she was like telling me all about her life. We became really good friends, so I
like
love
me
her.
And G.
Yeah,
he was the
I was
one
like, she will not stop talking,
Yeah,
and that's all we do now. So I love her. Oscar Barrera too, who I hate. He was a thrower. He works at UREG here. Also a good friend of mine.
Oscar,
are they subscribers to the show? Did they know that you were going to be on the show today?
I'll let him know.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Once your episode comes out, you can share it with them, and there you go. So That's awesome.
Wow. Sarah, former Bloodhound, former All-Star, star athlete, probably 6-star athlete at St. Joe if they allowed her to play 6 sports. But former Bronc, thank you so much for everything that you do. For the forward progress, allowing us to, for you to take time to talk to us about your time at UTPA, because this is what it's all about. It's that connection. It's that bridge. It's exactly what I was talking to people about yesterday when I was at the volleyball game. And I said, man, if as a student and as a basketball player, this environment would have been awesome. And we're so happy that it's moving in that direction. And that's exactly why we're doing this. And we're bringing people like you on that have that vision, and we want to follow y'all.
Yeah. I mean, you of all people, you witnessed it firsthand being an athlete, and now you get to really have an impact directly being in the admin department, right? And so you have a point of view like very few of us have, because now you can really implement things like, hey, I know myself as a former athlete, I know what other former athletes would be feeling or would be thinking, and this is the way we should approach it. And so I want to say thank you for that, because what you're doing is help implement, and you're not letting the university forget former athletes like ourselves, because you were kind of like an advocate for us. So thank you, Sarah. Like,
you speak for all of us.
Yes.
You speak for all of us, Sarah.
I hope you carry that weight on your shoulders very well.
I am now. No, but I think it's really rewarding to see how far we've come and what we're giving our current student athletes, and just knowing you guys experienced the same thing I did, right? We're just here, we're having a blast, and you don't realize, we don't know better, right? We were just like, this is great. We love it. We love our teammates. We love our professors. We love everything about this. But now seeing how our student athletes are different, and that experience that we're giving them is so much better, and we're preparing them for life maybe sometimes a lot better than they did to us, right? Because just expectations were different, right? So just giving those tools to them and really being them for them. Even on the marketing side, sometimes student athletes will come in, they need some advice, they need some help finding internships, they need help doing something, and we're here to help them. Because they're here because of us. So we're here to serve them at the end of the day. That's the starting point and the end point of what we do. So
you're bridging the gap. You're part of the future, and you're bringing your headphones from the past onto the show. So there
my
you go.
1984 headphones.
Thank you. Yeah, we're not old. I remember those. I got those for Christmas.
Sarah, you were a blessing. You were such a great friend. You were welcome back anytime you want to come on. Talk about
you can even
sports.
take my spot, Sarah.
You can take G's spot sometimes. So yes,
please.
Or you and Julie can take over hosting duties. And
oh my gosh, that would be such a blast.
Oh, you're more than welcome to do it. Yes,
it will be a very crazy conversation, but we're here for it.
It would be awesome. It would be so awesome. Thank you, Sarah. And we wish you all the best. We'll see you in a couple of months when we go down there and film some live episodes, and we'll kind of pub that in a couple of weeks. But yeah, we can't wait to see you and hang out.
Yeah, let's do it. We're excited to have you out here. It's gonna be a blast. You all saw it last night. It's gonna be like that. Yeah,
it's gonna be awesome. Sarah, you are a blessing. Thank you so much, and we'll see you soon. Bees up, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Bees up.
Like, we weren't supposed to come up with something this clean. Like, something happened.